Welcome to Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. I'm gonna have to do some things I've been putting off. Well, the fall is here. It's almost winter. I've got my fall/winter garden all planted up. Everything's looking really good. But there are things in my garden, in my backyard here, that don't look so good. A lot of stuff I've been putting off: chores, maintenance, cleaning. And well, you gotta maintain your garden. You have to clean your garden. You have to clean the old pots and recycle that potting soil. My compost bins are just about on their last leg. I think I might get another 6 months or a year out of them before I need to rebuild the whole thing with fresh pallets. So I'm gonna go and recharge that. But I've also got a problem. I put some stuff in my compost bin that people have said you shouldn't put in your compost bin unless you run it through a chipper or shredder first, and that is Malabar spinach vines. Yeah, if you know about Malabar spinach, you know what happened. They started growing, and man, I had a ton of Malabar spinach vines that I threw in there thinking that would be great green material for the compost beds, or for the compost bin, along with a bunch of shredded paper to provide carbon. Well, it didn't work out that way. This is the side of the garden you don't see much anymore because it's in such bad shape. My composting operation has slowed down because you can see my pallets, well, they're rotting. These were old pallets to begin with. I'm gonna have to replace them, but I still need to get some compost going, so I'm gonna use what I have and see if I can't shore this up a bit. I'm gonna staple my weed cloth back to the boards if they'll take a staple. And we're going to chop up some of this compost because I made the mistake of trying to compost Malabar spinach, and I didn't chop it up well enough, and you can see it's just growing in there. That stuff is hard to get rid of, and I've discovered I don't really like it that much. It's got a good flavor, but as people warned, it is kind of slimy. So we're going to chop it up and mix this compost. It's really gone down. Normally my compost bin is, you know, half full, but yeah, we're gonna try to get this compost going again and salvage this as best we can. All right, move. Trying to look here. Move. We got some good compost down at the bottom. So it's this Malabar spinach, and I cut it up and put it in here, but I didn't cut it up well enough. So I'm going to try to extract it out of here and chop this stuff up real fine. I don't know if that'll do it. If it grows back, I'm just going to have to remove it and maybe shred it. So we got a job of work here. Let's get to going. Look at all that. Wow, it's just taking off in here. If I had a nice hot pile, we might be able to kill it. Look out, Phoebe. Move. I think we'll just take it out. A lot of that vine was growing along the edges. Move back. It's all over the place in here. I did chop it up, I just didn't chop it finely enough. Some of it looks like it's died off. Move. Out. Come on, Phoebe, you're not helpful. I know you're the official garden doggo at Black Gumbo, but you gotta be helpful. All right. Well, now we need some greens in here that won't grow back to balance out all this carbon and this shredded paper and this cardboard. And well, we don't have any right now. I need to cut the lawn, put some grass clippings in here. Come on out, Phoebe. Come on out. If we put about this weight of grass clippings in here, stir it up real well, that'll burn real fast. This all these paper clippings are nice and moist. There's plenty of water in here. By turning it, we're giving it oxygen, but we're lacking that one nitrogen component that we need to get a good hot burn. Move. Come on, Thebes, I'm going to have to put you inside. These guys need to do something with them to render them dead. Trying to escape. Alright, we'll call that good for now. I'll dump these in a big barrel of water, let them rot anaerobically. We'll let them dry out in the sun for a while. I think that two-pronged approach will work. If you're a long-time channel subscriber and you've watched a lot of my videos in the past, you've probably seen this side of my garden as well, where I've got my propagation station, my seating up table, my general workspace here. But it's a mess. We had that epic freeze at the beginning of this year that killed off a lot of stuff. And I've just kind of shunted most of those pots over here into the side of the house, and I haven't dealt with them because I've been busy with other things, trying to garden in the main area here. But this has just become a collection of junk, and so we need to clean it out, need to reclaim these pots and maybe recycle some of the soil, and just check on some of the things that are over here that need to be dusted off and put away. I don't like doing that kind of stuff, but it has to be done. Here's what we're dealing with back here. All these pots, all this soil. A little pawpaw tree starting to look like fall is going to change its color a bit, but this is a good project here. That's a success. I'm not supposed to be able to grow pawpaw trees here. When he arrived, he was this big, and I planted him here in this pot. It's growing well. Got some herbs still growing from the roots. These need to be dealt with. Got some sweet potato slips that found their way in here and have grown, but I got to deal with all these pots, get all this stuff cleaned up. Here's a casualty of the freeze that's just been sitting back here waiting to be recycled. Same thing over here. Here's a fig tree that I thought was dead, so I cut it back so I could just pull it out of there and recycle that pot. But it sent up a big long runner there, and this one here goes up taller than me into my grapevine. So this will be made into cuttings this year. And what is this? This is a panache tiger stripe. This is an LSU variety. We'll take cuttings of this so we can grow some new trees, and yeah, because that's not a good growth form. That's not a good growth habit. You don't want a tree that's just two main branches coming off a stump. So we'll start over with that one. Again, more junk that just needs to be dealt with. What we have here is a new raised bed, and you can see it's got lots of weeds in it. It's got lots of garden refuse in it. The okra was laid in here, and lots of wood. So it's semi-hugelculture. What we're going to do is clean up our old expired potting mix, and we're going to lay it in here, and all those weed seeds that are in that potting mix will be well enough down below the surface that they shouldn't be a problem if we take some additional steps and tarp this bed through the spring. I think that's what we're going to try to do. I'll evaluate it as we go and see if we get any weeds in here, but you can see we've already got a bunch of weeds growing down in here. The grass is coming up. That's okay. It's perfectly okay. But expired potting soil would be perfect to put in here to fill in all the air gaps and help weigh this down and continue the decomposition of all that wood. And expired potting mix, a lot of mine has weed seeds in it, but they'll be deep enough down once we're finished building this bed that the seed bank down in the soil will be deep enough where it shouldn't give us any trouble. So we're going to try that. That's a big old root ball right there. All right. A little bit of thyme. take that, and if the thyme wants to continue to grow, free food. Alright. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Now I know where everything is, and got our containers washed out. We'll sit there until the spring. I'm gonna up pot some of my trees into these big containers, and yeah, that's good. Alright, well, we're getting there with filling up our bed with recycled potting soil and whatever else we can find laying around. We're going to bring it all the way up to the top. Hopefully that'll smother the weeds underneath that you see coming up there on the edges. And if it doesn't, well, we can tarp it and let it solarize and let it heat up and kill off the seed bank in the top portion of the soil where all those weed seeds will germinate as soon as the warm weather comes around again. If we solarize, we can keep this bed weed free if we don't go digging around too deeply and turning up the seed bank. So if you're interested in learning how to fight weeds, there's a book called War on Weeds by John Moody, and I strongly recommend that book. Look for the one published by Good Books Publishing. David the Good publishes that book now. It has been re-edited, and it did need an edit, so I'm glad they re-edited. But great book. Teaches you all kinds of methods for dealing with weeds. Whew, all right. Nice evening, cool breeze coming in. We got our chores done. It feels good. So I still got a little more chore work to do. I've got to clean up some more pots. I've got to organize back on the side of my house there. And I'm gonna have to rebuild my compost bins. And so I've got to source some free pallets somewhere and just tear all that out. I'm contemplating moving my compost operation back to the other side of the house where it was many years ago, because that area where the compost bin is now has now been amended with all that compost sitting directly on the soil. But also that's the side of my house where I can push the zone. I can grow more tropical style plants over there because that brick wall absorbs the heat. It's facing the proper direction. It's south facing, and it will absorb that heat and radiate the heat through the night and keep those temperatures about a half zone to a full zone warmer than zone 9A, so I could grow 9B or 10A type tropicals over there. I'm just thinking about it though. Winter's the good time to do that. Well, anyway, there we go. Just a little work day. Glad you tagged along. I'm grateful for all my subscribers. I want to thank you all. Your views on my channel and the ad revenue that we make here at Black Gumbo has been a real blessing to our family. So I'm very grateful for all of you who tune into our channel and listen to me ramble on about getting hands in the dirt and gardening. I have a need for 4 new tires on my truck. I needed a battery for my truck. Our dishwasher and our washing machine went out at the same time. And so these are real life challenges. This is adulting, as the young folks say. And it all happens, you know, right at once. So add to that inflation. I mean, you print up millions and billions of dollars and hand it out for free to everybody in the form of stimulus money. What do you expect is going to happen? You can't just print money out of thin air. It's just like monopoly money. It's valueless. And so our dollar has been losing value and everything is going up in prices. The appliance guy said that the prices are going up every month. Every month they get a price increase. And inflation is real, folks. Try to buy quality products. Try to buy things that are going to last. And get it now while you can, because, man, your money's not going to be worth as much as it was today, tomorrow. That's the reality of believing we can just print money. So I want to thank you, though, for supporting my channel, because the revenue from my channel has bought me a new dishwasher and a new dryer this week, and a new battery for my truck. I'm very, very grateful. I'm humbled. that you find value in this channel and you keep coming back. So thank you so much. If you're new here, you haven't subscribed, I hope we earn your subscription. Check out some of our gardening videos and see if you like what we do here. Small backyard gardening, this is it. What you see right here is the majority of my gardening efforts, and I can teach you how I do it in a small context, and hopefully that'll translate over to some success for your garden. So please subscribe to our channel, like us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook. We got a Facebook group. You can share pictures and chat with me on Facebook, and yeah, do all those things if you see fit. So thanks so much. Y'all have a blessed night. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.